Welcome to another video of FoodNourish Deep Dives, the videocast of foodnourish.net, where we explore topics like health, food, supplements, and alternative approaches to health and wellness. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest trends out there, natural Ozempic. We're going to separate the hype from the science. Okay, so if you've been on social media at all, you've seen this. I mean, it's everywhere. Influencers, videos, all promising these incredible, almost unbelievable results. The kind you get from a powerful drug, but without the cost or a trip to the doctor. And that's the big question, right? It sounds amazing, but can a few natural compounds, a supplement you buy online, really go toe-to-toe with a seriously engineered pharmaceutical? That's what we're here to figure out. We're going to break it all down, look at the actual science, and see what's real. So first things first. Before we can even talk about the natural versions, we have to understand the boss-level player in this game, the actual drug, semaglutide, which you probably know as Ozempic. What is it actually doing in your body to get those dramatic results? Well, it all boils down to this one hormone, GLP-1. You can think of it as your body's built-in off switch for hunger. When you eat a meal, your gut releases GLP-1. It sends a message straight to your brain that says, "Hey, we've got food, you can stop eating now." It also slows down how fast your stomach empties, which is key to making you feel fuller for longer. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The GLP-1 your body makes, it only lasts for a couple of minutes. It does its job and then it's gone. Semaglutide, though, is a whole different beast. It's been engineered to mimic that hormone, but to stick around for about a week. So instead of a quick little signal, you're getting a powerful, sustained "I'm full" message 24/7. That's a game changer. And the results speak for themselves. This is why everyone's talking about it. In a major clinical trial, people lost, on average, nearly 15% of their body weight. That is a staggering number, and it sets a really, really high bar for any so-called natural alternative. This is the effect we're measuring everything against. Okay, so with that benchmark in mind, let's bring on the natural contenders. We're going to look at the science behind the most popular ones, and we have to start with the one you see all over the internet, Berberine. Now, here is the most important thing to understand right off the bat. Berberine does not act like GLP-1. It's on a totally different pathway. What it does is activate something in your cells called AMPK. Think of it like a master metabolic switch. When you flip that switch on, it tells your cells to stop storing energy as fat and start burning the fuel you already have. So really, it's a lot more like the diabetes drug metformin than it is like Ozempic. So does flipping the switch lead to the same kind of weight loss? Well, the data is pretty clear. Berberine definitely works better than a placebo, no doubt about it, but studies show weight loss in the range of about 5 to 7%. And when you put that right next to semaglutide's nearly 15%, yeah, you can see they're just not in the same league. It can be a helpful tool for sure, but a one-to-one replacement, it's not. And this is where the story gets a little surprising. While everyone's obsessing over Berberine, the thing that comes closest to replicating that feeling of fullness from Ozempic, well, it's not a fancy supplement. It's good old-fashioned soluble fiber. The way it works is actually pretty cool, and it's all about physics. Soluble fibers like psyllium husk or glucomannan are like super sponges. When you take them with a big glass of water, they soak it all up and expand into this thick gel right in your stomach. That gel physically takes up space, which stretches your stomach walls and triggers the exact same nerve signals that tell your brain, "Hey, I'm full." It's mimicking the drug's effect, but with a simple mechanical trick, not a hormonal one. And finally, instead of trying to find something to mimic your hormones, you can actually just work with your biology. There are specific foods that encourage your body to produce more of its own natural GLP-1. Protein is by far the most powerful, but healthy fats, certain types of fiber from things like onions and garlic, and even bitter foods like green tea and dark chocolate can all give your body a gentle, natural nudge in the right direction. So what's the takeaway here? You can't just pop one pill and replicate this drug, but what you can do is stack these different natural effects on top of each other to create a really powerful, synergistic strategy. Let's look at a blueprint for how you could actually build that out. The key is to build this up in stages so it's sustainable. You start with Tier 1, the foundation. That means focusing on high-protein meals and using that fiber preload trick before you eat to help with hunger. Once that feels like a solid habit, you can move to Tier 2 and add things like berberine for that metabolic switch support and maybe some green tea. And then Tier 3 is about long-term optimization, thinking about things like probiotics to support your gut health, which is so crucial for everything else. Now, if you are looking to build out your own protocol, finding high-quality supplements is obviously super important. To help you out, we actually put together a deals page over at foodnourish.net/deals. You'll find all the wellness and supplement deals we could find from major brands like Perpetual Life, iHerb, Source Naturals, Nootropics Depot, Bioptimizers, and more. It's a great place to start. And of course, the link is in the description of the video. All right, let's get to the final verdict. Let's put everything on a stat sheet side by side and see how the pharmaceutical approach really stacks up against a well-designed natural one. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? The trade-offs are crystal clear. With semaglutide, you get incredible speed and power, but the cost is huge, and a big concern is that the weight often comes back if you stop the drug. The natural approach is working with multiple, gentler pathways. It is way, way cheaper, and it's definitely slower. But its biggest advantage is sustainability, because you're not just relying on a drug, you're actually building lifelong habits. So here it is, the final verdict. We have to reframe the goal here. The goal isn't really to replace Ozempic, because no supplement can truly do that. The real goal is to use these natural tools as building blocks for a solid foundation of metabolic health that's sustainable and just maybe could prevent you from ever needing a drug like this in the first place. And that's really the thought we want to leave you with. In the game of your own health, are you just looking for the next power-up or a quick cheat code? Or are you focused on building a strong, resilient character that's ready for the long haul? Goodbye, listeners! For a much deeper dive, please check out the resource article in the video's description. If you found this breakdown useful, please hit the like button. It really helps us grow our channel and keep delivering these deep dives on health matters. And of course, subscribe so you never miss another video. We'll see you next time!